Yeah, I was going to talk about logos and the importance of logos. I think it's easy to see a logo as just this little symbol thing that is on your business cards and stuff like that. But the reality is, it's much more important than that. You only have to look at the likes of Apple, Microsoft, Ryanair, McDonald's to see that people have a strong emotional connection, good and bad, to all sorts of brands. And this connection is fired off when you see the logo. That's the connection you make. It's the keystone of the brand. It holds it all together. Now, it shouldn't really be that important. It's just some text or an image or a combination, but it does mean so much more as emotional connections. So I just want to talk about the 5 things that your logo should be. Most important of all, number 1 is it should be a vector. Now, there are 2 basic file types when it comes to imagery. You've got bitmaps and vectors. Bitmaps are the stuff that's familiar. That's the photographs and things like that, which are made up of pixels or dots. The more dots per inch in the space, the higher the quality of the image. So if you compare between a newspaper image and a high quality glossy magazine image, that you can see the dots much more easily on the newspaper. But the problem is, it doesn't matter how high res your image is. Eventually, if you blow it up to a certain size, it's going to pixelate and blur, and the quality is going to fall. So vector files, on the other hand, are made of maths. They're really just a set of instructions for creating all the shapes and coded instructions for drawing each line and the curves. The end result is that they can be scaled to any size and they will remain perfectly sharp. Now, that means that they're perfect for logos, illustrations, infographics, that sort of thing. You can't do photographs with it, so that they're only suitable for certain things, but they are perfect for that sort of stuff. And it means that it's going to be much more versatile. So, second thing is, your logo realistically should be simple. If you look at the big brands, they really do simplify their logos right down. And a simple logo is much more likely to reproduce well, no matter what size or medium. It should work in black and white, and ideally, in my view, it should be designed in black and white initially. And a simple logo is easier to remember, easier to associate with, becomes more memorable, and you don't have so many other technical problems with it at certain sizes. Third thing it should be is appropriate. So that doesn't mean you have to say what you do. In fact, mostly it's better not to do that. It gets complicated, but it does need to be appropriate. You don't want to look like a small arts and craft company if you're a global finance corporate, and vice versa. Number 4, it should be enduring. So some logos of very established brands haven't changed in decades or at all. Many have become simpler over time because it makes sense to do so, but they've just tweaked it, they've evolved it. So if you take a look at Shell, for example, they started off with a photograph of a shell, which would have its own problems. But once they created this simple shell graphic, this image, they stuck with it for the best part of 60 years. They've tweaked it here and there, but it is recognizable from the original. And this also relates to the idea that you don't have to say, or generally not a good idea, to have a logo that says what you do unless it can be done simply and cleanly. They don't sell shells. It's got no relation to, as far as I'm aware, to what they do at all. And your logo won't endure if you have to completely redesign it every time you expand your business in a different direction or add a new service. And finally, number 5, versatile. So this is where the vector file comes in. This is where the simplicity comes in. It should work as an embroidered logo. It should work as a tiny web icon. It should work on a huge billboard. And simplicity and the vector file will help you get this, make it work in all these different environments. So the 5 things are: a vector file is the most important. Keep it simple. Make sure it's appropriate. Should be an enduring thing, should be changing every 5 minutes, and it should be versatile. And if you're not convinced the bad logo could affect your business, I would suggest just doing a Google search for logo design fails or bad logo design. You'll get some absolute howlers.